Time now to catch up on what Michelle Bachmann's up to. The last time we saw her, she was gracefully bowing out of the presidential race after a disappointing finish in Iowa. Well, now she has had some time to reflect, and Jennifer Wishon had a chance to catch up with her recently where she was in full evangelical mode. Jennifer, what'd she have to say?
She was, David. Well, she told us how she prayed during her time on the campaign trail and also why she believes it was God's will that she run for president. She also gave us her take on the state of the GOP nomination race she left behind and her role in the process going forward.
What I want to do is bring together Tea Partiers, evangelicals, the mainstream of the Republican Party, as well as independents and disaffected Democrats. I know we can win this fall in the presidential race, but we have to be united. We're highly factionalized right now. I want to bring those factions together. We've got to unite around a single purpose because we have to repeal Obamacare, we have to repeal Dodd-Frank, and we have to stand strong for our national security.
Does someone have to get out of the race for unity to be achieved?
That decision will be decided by the people, as it should be. And so we're going through the very difficult process of the primary system. I think each of the men will tell you this is in all likelihood the hardest thing they've ever done in their life. It's a very difficult process. It beats the snot out of you, to be blunt, but that's good because all of the candidates get better. This election is so important that we have to have a candidate who is ready to be our standard bearer and actually someone who will do what they say they're going to do. And I intend to be a part of that process, and I want to go around the country, help our nominee, and talk about why Barack Obama can't have a second term because of how dangerous he's been on foreign policy.
You were one of those candidates who were, quote, getting the snot beaten out of them every day. How are you different on this side of the process?
Well, I'm a strong, committed believer in Jesus Christ. I came to Jesus when I was 16 years of age. I'm not ashamed of my faith. And I spent 6 months in prayer before I even decided to run for president because I felt called. I felt a calling from the Lord. Just because I didn't win doesn't mean that it wasn't God's will. God sometimes calls us to do very hard things. What I saw is a God who is faithful. My team and I were on our knees, not only daily, but literally hourly, going through the presidential campaign. We had to rely on the Lord for everything that we had, and obviously I continue to do so. I've seen his hand, and again, I want to encourage people, even though sometimes you may be defeated in what you believe God has called you to do, that isn't the last chapter, and that's what I see for myself. I'm not in my last chapter. God has used this marvelous experience, and I hope that he was able to use me for other people's lives. For instance, I shared the gospel all across the nation. I gave the gospel of Jesus Christ in forums where it wouldn't occur otherwise. C-SPAN filmed me in churches presenting the gospel. And again, it's not about me, it's about the gospel.
Bachmann says she laid down everything to do battle for her country when she ran for president. The battle remains, and David, if there was any question, she says she will indeed run for re-election to her seat in the House of Representatives.
Well, that's interesting. You know, a lot of folks are wondering if she's going to endorse in this presidential cycle. What are you hearing about that? What's she saying?
Well, she told me that she may endorse. She hasn't decided yet, but right now she thinks her neutral status really helps her be that unifier that she wants to be right now to bring together all the factions of the Republican Party.
Jennifer Wishon in the B block. You know, Jennifer Lopez is called Jenny on the block. You could be Jen in the B block.
I like that.
Well, I think
like
we're
that.
going to call you that.
This is where I like to be.